September. Slams shut. They always slam shut.
Yeah,
but then for 19 more days, the Saudis can buy who they want, and none of the British clubs can replace. That could end up being the biggest story once we hit September the 1st.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but it's up to, if the English clubs decide not to sell, then you don't. I mean, it's as simple as that. Alisson, who, yes, I agree with Dalen, is a surprise to see him linked, and kind of give him the money that the Saudis have been splashing. I'm sure his interests are peaked, but he's got 4 years left on his Liverpool contract. So if Liverpool decide, well, we're not selling you August 28th, we're not selling you September 10th, we're not selling you September 10th, 2025. That's well within their rights. Of course, Alisson can have some say about that and kick up a stink, but the fact remains he's got a pretty lengthy contract still to see out. So it's up to the English or European clubs in so many respects to kind of resist as best they can. But yes, if you're a player, and even if you're in the prime of your career, that kind of money is tempting. There's no other way to put it. It has to pique your interest, and almost regardless of where you are in your career in Europe, because you can just make so much more. And I feel that there are players who've gone to Saudi Arabia that are making 10 times the money that they would make anywhere else in Europe.
And Mark, real quick, we've seen the model proved out with Live Golf. I mean, they were taking guys out of the prime of their career and saying, "Hey, money's the great equalizer here. We can throw that at them." So I think they're going to make their pitch at whoever, and it takes the individual to say, "What are my priorities and what do I want?" And to Shaq's point, as we all said, when you got 8 and sometimes 9 zeros involved, I mean, that's a whole different level.
Yeah, that's Shaka money at Newcastle when he was there. I mean,
there we go.
That's why he's got the freedom of the city, because he can afford it. Okay, Spurs striker. They've been linked with Balogun of Arsenal. I saw an interesting quote from Tony Bloom at Brighton saying Evan Ferguson will be here for the next 5 years, or that's certainly what they hope, before they sell him for $800 billion and then continue the way that they're going. Before the transfer window shuts, Shaq, not easy to say, do you think Spurs will splash the cash on a big money striker, and who?
I think they will splash on a striker. I'm not at all sure. I don't see Balogun as a likely option for them. Not just because of the Arsenal link. Let's be honest, there are other players who've made that jump. I'm looking no further than Sol Campbell in this regards. Certainly he went the other way. So it's not unheard of. I'm not sure who that striker is that comes in to fill that void, because that is a really big void to fill. Let's be honest, we are talking about one of the best number 9s in the world game, and I'm not sure that there's a player out there who fills that seamlessly or even partially. So,
not cheaply,
and well. Even money not being a factor, who's available? If we're talking Harry Kane, to replace Harry Kane, off the top of my head, I'm thinking 3 players. Robert Lewandowski, he's not leaving Barcelona. Nope. I don't think he spent big money on him. He's 39. Erling Haaland, he's not leaving Manchester City, and Victor Osimhen. I reported 150, 160 million at the very least that Napoli will want for him. I just and keep in mind that as a couple of months ago he wasn't at all available for sale. So I'm not sure that who comes in. We were discussing Lukaku a couple of days ago on the show, and while that makes sense in that he's available, Chelsea can be more desperate to get rid. Again, I'm not sure that he is the striker that fills that void.
Okay, before we move on to the Women's World Cup, Dalen and I would like you, Shaka, to be the bouncer when him and I go to the nightclub, which we do regularly, because you've just added 5 years onto Lewandowski's age. He's 34, and you said he was 39. So we'd get into the nightclub if you were the bouncer, right?
Well, I guess so.
We might be kicked out. If you add 5 more years, I'd be like, we're not welcome here.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.